The Republic of Congo is one of the last strongholds for wildlife in Central Africa and across the continent. There's huge populations of a lot of some of Africa's most iconic species. A lot of these animals are really at risk of being lost in huge numbers, especially some of the animals that are trafficked, like elephants for their ivory, pangolins for their scales. PALF has been working in Congo since 2008, and we've now started the Sniffer dog program since 2014. We all know that poachers are running around in national parks, and obviously anti-poaching is something that's done in the national parks. But what happens when it goes outside of the national parks? What happens when the traffickers take illegal wildlife products from those parks and then bring them into cities? So we're one of the few entities that's actually addressing that kind of urban angle of illegal wildlife trade, where the illegal wildlife trade becomes industrial and where it's at its highest scales. So these Sniffer dogs came knowing how to sniff out ivory, as well as ammunition and firearms, and we've trained them up to be able to sniff out bushmeat, as well as other products like pangolin scales, and they've been finding them regularly. But the main places where the dogs are intervening is in airports, on control posts, and they're also searching houses when, for example, when an ivory trafficker is busted and they want to do a search of the house just to check if there's anything else out there or inside the house. We've managed to have the Sniffer dogs on control posts where they've stopped bushmeat traffickers from bringing very large quantities of bushmeat to urban centers. They've been, of course, sniffing in the house of even a very major ivory trafficker who was then later sentenced to 2 years in prison. And they've already managed to get a lot of seizures, or bring about a lot of seizures of crocodiles, turtles, parrots, as well as recently two live pangolins. And that's really great for us because when they're alive, then those animals can be released back into the wild. We have the dogs operational and they're moving around the country. Now we need to professionalize things and we need to take it to the next level. We need to make sure our dogs have the right security systems in place. We need to make sure that they're not at risk. We need to make sure that we have the flexibility to move from one place to another and have a vehicle for that. Any support that we can get is super helpful to us, and we can build up our program and start operating in multiple places at once, covering as much ground as possible as we can, and doing the best that we can to stop illegal wildlife trade in Congo. So we very much appreciate any help, and thanks very much.